Hi. Well, it is day two of the Path of Destiny being live. Not even day two, I would say closer to 36 hours in. And I actually wanted to challenge myself to finish it all in a day. Obviously, I haven't, because you see on my screen that I still have something left. But I did manage to get really far, in my opinion, and I managed to basically unlock the tasks so that I know that even though I didn't finish, I know what the remaining tasks are. And with that in mind, I actually wanted to give an honest review of the Path of Destiny already, because I know that some people might take it easy and just kind of go about their game as normal and pick up the rewards as they go. And then some people, maybe more extreme like me, might want to complete it in a certain amount of time. And before people dive in to do that, or if they would go for an intermediate path, somewhere between those extremes, I think it's good for people to know what they might be getting into before they commit. And I do want to talk about the things that I like and the things that I dislike. So it's not going to be fully criticism. I do acknowledge that there are some great things that the game managed to introduce with this Path of Destiny. But I do think that some things were also maybe unreasonable or even disappointing. So, okay, this is my preamble. I'll show you, I'll prove to you, I actually did get quite far. So I'm on 413 out of 422. And, well, we can go to the first thing that is a little bit tricky, which you see right away, is you can only see certain tasks, a certain number of tasks in front of you. So you can't see all of them at the moment. You cannot scroll back. I understand that resources are going to be published on Discord to make this a bit more transparent for guild leaders. But I do think that this is one aspect that could be less clear for some players. So I'm only managing to scroll back 8, as I can see, and I only managed to scroll forward 10. So I did actually go up to 413 just so that I could see the final task. So that's the first thing, that you cannot go too far ahead or too far back. So it's a little bit difficult for people to give advice. And then the second thing I want to point out is the wording can sometimes be a little bit unclear. I do have an example of that I'm going to show later, because I did take some screenshots as I went along, and we can look at some of these screenshots and I'll just point things out in those screenshots. So I have one on the left right now, but I'll get into it later. So the first thing that I really liked actually was getting all of the players to say hello in global chat. I think that suddenly global chat is really friendly. We have people coming out of the woodwork and saying hi, and the atmosphere is great. So I think that was a really big plus for me. So far, probably the most positive thing that, in my opinion, came out of this Path of Destiny was really the good atmosphere that we're having in the global chat. So the second thing that I want to touch on is it was kind of described before the release as something that experienced players could basically, like they could log into the game And then it sounded like, I don't remember the precise wording, but it sounded like we would just have a bunch of rewards waiting for us. And the way that I interpreted that, I also took it to mean that the hero Lumina would also be ready to collect in a way. And actually, the format is not like that. Some of the tasks are counted backwards in time. Like, so you see on the left here, this fuse hero Richard. So at the time, I had not fused a Richard ever. And because of that, I was asked to fuse a Richard. I find it quite easy to pull a Richard. So this was a little bit annoying for me, and the fusion for a 3-star hero costs 1 million coin. And I think no matter how advanced you are in the game, 1 million coin does hurt. So this was quite annoying that, you know, you have to put in quite some resources into a 3-star hero, which you might consider as junk normally when you pull a gold scroll, right? So I think, yeah, this is, oh, they're asking me to sleep. No. No, I have to record this video. It's not bedtime. So yes, you do have to make some things, and there some things, these things are counted backwards in time, and if you haven't done them, you do need to do them. And some of the things are what you need to do now. So those kinds of things are rift battles, dragon skills. So the dragon skill refers to when you go into the battle. Let me show you. Oh no, see all these offers popping up. So for example, if I'm going to go into Phoenix, it doesn't matter at this stage. So the dragon skill here would be the dragon that I use here. And if it says, for example, I need to use the dragon skill 20 times, that means that I need to get the dragon to fire in the battle 20 times. It doesn't mean 20 times in one battle necessarily. You can split it up through a lot of battles, but you do need to have that kind of waiting for the dragon to fire off 20 times. And some of these tasks are more tedious than others. I think the dragon 20 times was quite tedious for me. I think that some of the fusion tasks are tedious. You later have, I'm not sure if I'll show it in the screenshot, but there is a second fusion where they say fuse a hero, and you can choose the hero, but it does not count the heroes that you have already fused. So if I would look at, you know, my fusion list, I've fused Strybog, I've fused Gwyn, I've fused, you know, Premislav, Elidor, Civ, Tornus. I'm pretty sure I've fused most of these epics. I never really fused a rare, I don't think. But so you would, none of these things that you have done in the past would count for the second fusion, right? The first fusion is Richard. For the second fusion, it just says fuse a hero. You have to choose a hero. So what I had to do was pull a bunch of silver scrolls. I also re-rolled the market a couple of times, and out of those I got enough uncommon heroes to fuse basically this guy, whose name sounds like a part of the male anatomy. So I basically got all of these uncommon heroes. I power leveled them, and then I fused him. That was another 1 million. So that was one of the more tedious tasks that you have to do right now. And I think the most tedious task that you have to do afresh was to get 10 6-star artifacts. And I think this is very easy to do if you choose the approach of living life as normal and collecting the rewards as you go. But if you really want to do them fast, with the RNG, you don't always get what you want. So I had to sit there repeating the rifts for quite a while to get the 10 6-star artifacts. Whatever you want, whatever you chase in life runs away, or something like that, right? So I was not so happy, or I was just too impatient. Yeah, and then now just going to the screenshots here. So I'm seeing indeed the fusing. Richard, we already talked about. We also saw some of the, so these are counted backwards. So the everything in normal, difficulty, nightmare, hell. I'm assuming the people who watch my channel will already have completed those. So let's go to my next screenshot. So this one was another one that I found actually very tedious. So this task 273, gather 5 5-star heroes. And by the way, I think the wording can be improved. A lot of the wording is quite unclear, so that would be a minus for me. And then specifically for this task, gather doesn't mean, make friends and put them in a team or whatever. It means they want you to do 5-star ascensions. So this is something that could fit in with the Wise Man event. But of course, if you're doing it outside the event just for the sake of completing it, it is quite a drain on your resources. Now, what I will say is that, these ascensions tasks, they start off at lower levels and they increase. So a smart thing to do if you're strategic would be to actually make the feeders from maybe 3 stars to 4 stars to 5 stars. And then eventually when they ask for 6-star ascensions, because they do at the end, they ask for 8 6-star ascensions in total, then you at least have some feeders made. So what else do I want to say? Let's move on. So here you can see the colors of the bubbles changing as they go along. Gather 100,000 XP. That means hero XP. So it's not your personal account XP, but it's what you gain from farming, from leveling up, from the training camps, for example. So that is what XP means. And by the way, I do actually like how the Path of Destiny got us to jump around and click on different parts of the game. I think it was tedious in the first few levels when it was something like visit the shop, visit the lexicon, visit the market. But I think in terms of getting validated for small things, it's kind of nice to have these little tasks to do. There was a sweet spot there where it wasn't too trivial and it wasn't too difficult. That kind of bouncing around was quite fun. And I also liked the feeling that, people in the same guild or in the whole community, because it was just released, were going through the steps together. I thought that was really fun. Even if within my guild, we didn't discuss all of the tasks that we were going through, it was kind of understood that this was something that we were all working on. And I thought that was really, I won't say collaborative, but it was a bit like of a weird team building activity. I liked it. So here we see this one, and I think this is the first 6-star ascension. So you get Jera shards, and I didn't actually pay attention, but you may get enough shards to fuse her. Let me check. Yeah, so you get a Jera if you don't have a Jera, which I think is really cool. So I definitely like getting the Jera shards. Jera's a great hero. Um, was the cost worth it? I'm not sure, but I think this is definitely a cool reward. The rewards are pretty good as you advance. So by the end, I'm getting 6-star artifacts all the time. But of course, they don't count to the task where I have to get 10 6-star artifacts, right? Because I need to do them when the task appears. It doesn't go retrospectively. Let's see the next one. So we see Inferno coming up, actually. And I was pretty concerned when I saw this. So you do see Inferno, and for me, Inferno was not something I was actually interested in because I thought it was way too difficult and it was too expensive in terms of energy, with too low of a reward. And I understand that there could be some reason that they want to incentivize Inferno, but I think that including Inferno is really going too far, because if I again go back to how I interpreted the marketing around this set of tasks, it was that, you know, the average person who had been playing this game for a couple of months or maybe a year would be able to get Lumina. And for me, okay, let's see how long I've been playing this game. It's been over a year. It's been a while. Okay, 543. So somewhere between 1 year and 2 years. And I do consider myself, you know, experienced. I did definitely consider myself, or I do definitely consider myself more experienced than when I was fusing Gwyn or when I was fusing Strybog. And I had understood that Lumina would be an every person's legendary hero, just like Gwyn and Strybog are available to everyone, even when they're new, because guilds actively encourage people to fuse these heroes, and rightly so, because they're fantastic heroes. I thought Lumina would be as readily available, and she's not. And I think that is because of Inferno. I don't see any reason for players to play Inferno right now, apart from a sense of personal pride or whatever, and maybe to get Lumina. However, the problem with Lumina is if she's supposed to be an ultimate farmer, if you are able to play Inferno, I think you already have some good farmers. In fact, if you're already able to do 5-star ascensions, 6-star ascensions, as are asked of you in the earlier tasks, I'm pretty sure you already have a very good farmer, maybe even several farmers. And that really makes me think, is she worth it? You know, if she was, let's take like an extreme example. If she was like the purple dust boss who insta kills an enemy, yeah, for sure she would be worth it, right? But obviously that would break the game. But I mean, I think you have to think about what is the purpose of the hero that you're trying to get, and do you already have something that fulfills those needs. Lumina is basically a legendary version of Soliana, and Soliana is an excellent hero who is only going to take maybe 12 seconds in a farming run as the fastest. And Lumina, I don't see her being like significantly faster than that. Maybe she can shave off 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I'm not really expecting, you know, a 3-second match, because what she has to do is she needs to match her tiles. She'll fire. If you equip her right, she'll recharge immediately, and then she'll fire again for the second wave. And I've had that happen with Soliana for different reasons. because of other feeders she was bringing along with her. I think the fastest I've ever done with Soliana was 10 seconds. So I'm going to say Soliana is doing, for me, around 10 to 12 seconds as the fastest times. Lumina, let's say, does 10 seconds regularly or every time. I'm not sure that's, a sufficient payoff. Anyway, let's get back to my review. So, one thing that I have not touched on yet actually is the player level. So, I think earlier on it asks for level 7 and then it asks for level 12. I remember around the 300 mark, I would guess. I haven't really seen this. I think it asks for level 25, and that's the highest that I've seen. You can see that today I'm on prestige. I prestiged yesterday and I'm on now 3. So I was holding on to level 49, 50 for a while, trying to do these tasks. And my advice, if you are at a high level and you want to do these tasks, is you need to burn a lot of energy. If they ask you to do rifts, do the lowest level rifts that you can. If they ask you to do damage, go into something like the yellow dust boss or the moon dust boss, do a lot of damage and then quit. You'll obviously lose the resources, but if you want to do it quick without prestiging up, then that is your best bet. When I was doing my tasks, I didn't get points for arena apart from the tasks that specifically said go fight in arena. So for the dragon skills, I didn't get anything from arena, and I don't think I got something for hero damage from the arena either. So with the level, I think that was worded a little bit confusingly, but basically if you are at level 50, basically you will pass all of these. If you are at level 1 and it asks for level 7, because 1 is lower than 7, then you will not pass. It's not asking you to go up 7 levels, it's just asking that your number is higher than 7. So that was something that was tripping up a couple of my guildmates. And let's go through more screenshots. Okay, so this is now very close to where I am now. And you can see 418, it's saying gather 5 6-star heroes. And again, this means do 5 6-star ascensions. And I think this is quite a difficult one if you want to do it all at once, or if you want to do it quickly. For my guild and for me, I normally aim to do 2 6-star ascensions per wise man event. I know some people are really industrious and they can do 4 or even 5 ascensions. That's great, but for me, I'm probably more laid back. I like arena, but if you see me do farming, I'm just doing my 65 auto battles a couple of days a month, and then I set up my storage for putting heroes into training. I actually do have 2 videos on XP farming, so link them below in the description, so you can check that out. That's how I do farming. It's a very, in my view, it's a very kind of low-key approach. I'm not very ambitious with my hero ascensions. So my point is, if I'm doing 2 ascensions per wise man, 2 6-star ascensions, this is going to take a while. To do 5 at once, maybe that would fit in with a guild ascension event. So definitely, these could be things to consider when you go through these tasks. If you do them over time, if you do them in a guild event, it's fine. I didn't do this task yet, but if I wanted to finish it, then I would be using my 5-star cauldrons, and that would actually be 25 cauldrons for this particular task. Is it worth 1 platinum scroll? I don't know. Right? So these are the things you need to ask yourself. This was the most challenging ascension task. They ask for 3 individual 6-star ascensions before this. So if you can imagine, I already used 15 5-star cauldrons because I was rushing through, and then to do 5 more, another 25 cauldrons. I mean, I do hoard resources, but I'm not a whale. So yeah, it was uncomfortable. And we're getting to the end, actually. So we do see like decent rewards, right? I mean, this is not a huge amount of coins, but the platinum scroll is all right. These chests will give 2 artifacts at this level. They'll both be like 6-star rare artifacts, I think. And then you can see here some cauldrons. So it's decent. And then my beef is, if you look at the last tasks. So Fuse, Guinevere, or Strybog, that's fine. I think most people have done those. And I think this is a little bit weird, actually, because the order of the tasks don't seem right. Like, okay, let's go back. Okay, so let's go back here. Win Battle 7 in Amber Sands on Inferno difficulty. And then the task above that is win Battle 20 in Goliath Rift. I think for me, Goliath Rift is something that I did in my first few months in the game, right? And I'm over a year now, and I did Inferno today. So I think it's unrealistic that, people would be doing Goliath that late. So the order it leaves something to be desired. But okay, so I think, yeah, the Guinevere Strybog fusion has happened long ago. That's fine. But okay, now let's look at the last one. Claim the 21-star rewards for all stages on level Inferno. So what this is asking you to do, since you may be in a state of shock, because I was, it's asking you to get 21 on all of these different Greenhorn, Naporia, Amber Sands, Cardinal, Oasis, all the way up to Cursed Gate. So that is what it's asking for Lumina. And again, I'm going to say, this is not something for every person. I would consider myself someone who is quite serious about Arena. I have finished in Platinum 3 for the last 3 cycles consecutively, and that does require quite a lot of time and dedication. And I would consider that I understand the game and that I have put time into equipping my heroes, and that I know how to succeed at different areas like campaign, rifts, arena, raid boss, whatever. And for me, I wouldn't say that 21 stars on every stage on Inferno is something I can do yet. Yes, okay, this is maybe endgame, stretch yourself, improve yourself, whatever. But I don't actually see that this improves my playing in any other way. If I work on the rifts, I'll get better gear so I can work on maybe the raid boss, or if I can work on my heroes for arena. Or if I play arena, I can see that understanding the heroes helps me with war, or as I understand the synergies better, I might come up with better teams for the dust rifts, right? I mean, the other ones are kind of interrelated. The way that the 3 stars are set up now, and there were some comments about them being changed, So the way that the 3 stars are set up now, you have to complete these levels with 3 heroes, and they all have to be alive at the end of the battle. So that means that you can let them die as long as you revive them again. And then the new way that was rumored is that you can probably use 5 heroes again, but there will be a time limit. I'm not sure the time limit really helps, because if you look at some of these battles, I mean, I'm not saying I brought the best teams. Some of the battles are quite long, right? So, okay, maybe this was a bad example, but depending on how good you are at making the team composition, and I was bad at some of them. So you can see, for example, this one was a 4-minute. I need to find some worse examples. You'll be like, oh, 4 minutes is not bad. Okay. I was using potions for these, so that's why it's so fast. It's just using, I have over 1,000 large mana pots, and I was just loading it up because I was like, I wasted my life on this. Oh, I need to claim some coins. I'm sure. I'll just try this one, and then if it doesn't look good, okay. This looks good because I was using a lot of potions, but otherwise it could be 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. I did it once and I was like, never again. So it is expensive in resources, definitely. Either time or potions, coins, whatever you use to get through the stages quickly. Again, I don't think that getting 3 stars on Inferno is gonna do anything. And by the way, is a good point made by someone else. If you can get 21 stars in Inferno, aren't you at the end of the game? What are you farming XP for? Like, haven't you figured out everything? What do you need the ultimate farmer for? You've already beaten everything there is to beat, right? So why do you need a farmer? Like I said, if it was going to be the purple Moondust sister who insta-kills, yeah, then that is just like an awesome and very overpowered hero to have in the game in general. But farming, for me, is one of the first things that someone gets right if they're going to succeed in this game. So after they've completed basically every part of the game, isn't that what the Path of Destiny is about? It's about completing every part of the game. What do they need a farmer for, right? So that's a bit of a disconnect. So that is basically my thoughts, kind of just going through some of the tasks. And I'll recap again. I think the best thing that this did was to get us to say hi to each other. In global, you can still see the hi. I think it has been really positive for the community, and I actually hope that people will say hello more often. I would actually love it if there was a monthly or weekly task to say hello in global chat, because I think it's just been so nice. But I understand that some people are not so chatty, and that's fine. I also liked that we were bouncing around different areas in the game, and there was at some point a sweet spot between the tasks not being too trivial and also not too demanding. I also liked the feeling that people were doing this together. So those were probably my main likes. I haven't commented from the view of someone who teaches people a lot. My guild has been together for a longer time, and people are experienced. So going to different areas are not really things that we need to teach each other anymore. People already know most of these things. I think the big things that can be improved would be, first of all, the wording. I think that a lot of things are worded confusingly, and it doesn't help that we can't scroll back and forth too much in the game, regardless of what is going to be posted in Discord. I think that some of the tasks are too demanding or too tedious. For example, the fusing Richard was really annoying for me. And also things like doing the 5-star ascensions, the 5-6-star ascensions. I don't like the way that I can't remember whose fault it was, but it doesn't matter. I don't like the way that it felt like Lumina was going to be for everyone when she's clearly not for everyone. And I think that's very important to get across, that, I think you just have to decide whether Lumina is for you or not. You might go and do Phoenix level 20 because it's a good thing to do for your progression in the game, and it is. You should be doing Phoenix 20 as often as you can, in fact. But getting 3 stars on every single level in Inferno, is that good for you? I don't know. If you had asked me before the Path of Destiny was released, I would say no, it's a complete and utter waste of time and resources. Unless you like the ego gratification of finishing all of the levels. That's my honest opinion about Inferno. So I acknowledge that my dislike for Inferno bleeds into my dislike for the ultimate ask of these set of tasks, right? So what else? Did I miss anything that I didn't like? I think the level thing tripped some people up. I do like, by the way, that they got Jera. I wanted to say that again. Some of the rewards are good at the end. Yes, that's true. Are they worth it? Not sure. I mean, the rewards are good, but what you have to put in it is quite a lot of resources too. So anyway, that brings me to the end for today. I just wanted to put that out there. I know that there is already a discussion on Discord about how disappointed some people are. I have been a big contributor to that, and for me, I am definitely disappointed. Soliana is a very good hero for me, and for me to unequip her or use her in something else, I don't actually know what I would want to use Soliana for, which is not farming, because I think that's what she's designed for. Lumina is going to come to me as a 5-star unleveled hero. I would need to ascend her, I would need to equip her, I would need to tome her, I would need to dust her probably, and this is resource intensive in itself, right? She doesn't seem that much better than Soliana, so why don't I just decide not to carry on with this and just use Soliana? So that is why I am at level, let's come back here. I'm at level, or task number 413. I didn't get stuck. I just refused to complete this. And you see that these things are quite expensive. Awake 6 stars of any epic or legendary hero. I can do this with the Awakening event. If I do it now, it's really expensive. And this is not the first time they've asked for the Awakening of an epic or legendary hero, by the way. Yeah, so I was going to wrap this up. Thank you if you've made it this far. This is my review of the Path of Destiny. It's a bit rambly and unstructured, and I'm sorry for that, but did want to just kind of take you through in a semi-chronological order. So I hope that was informative for you, and if nothing else, I hope it helps you decide how aggressively you want to tackle these tasks. Do you want to do them just kind of naturally as you go along, or do you really want to pursue this and get this done quickly? And I hope that, it's helped you think about, is Lumina for you? Do you want her, and can you actually get her? Right? So it's a bit disappointing to end on this note, but that's what I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, I do have a bunch of other videos which are not so negative. So feel free to check those out. And again, thank you for supporting, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.